Another week for the Washington football team. This one, we're not all smiles like we were last week. Darren Haynes joining me. I'm Sharla McBride for our post-game show. This was a tough one to watch. Kind of throughout this game, there were a lot of struggles for the Washington football team that we saw every single quarter.
Yeah, I think one of the big issues, Sharla, is this team continues to be inconsistent.
Yes.
They are consistently inconsistent.
There you go.
And we have a guy, if we go to the offensive side and defensive side, we're going to touch on both of them. And, of course, you, the fans, comment on our Facebook page because we want to give you a shout-out and answer some of your questions. We'll get to the defense in just a little bit. But overall, we had great plays from the defense. We had great plays from the offense. But also we had horrible plays in the offense and horrible plays on the defensive side of things. And I think that's one of the reasons why we'll hear from Ron Rivera just a little bit on why he's so frustrated right now, because he knows on paper this team is better, Charlotte.
That's what he's saying. Yeah, he knows that they have talented guys. You look at a lot of these guys, some of these guys, first-round picks, second-round picks. This team is made up of talent, yet they're still inconsistent. They're not playing together. He's touched on that every single week about how they need to come together and play as a team. Like you said, they'll have one good play, but then that's followed up by a bad play.
Yeah, so
inconsistencies.
So your final 33-22 the Washington football team back-to-back they can't find a way to win back-to-back games. The Saints they've won back-to-back games. It's three, I believe they're on a 3-game losing streak against New Orleans. But all in all, this is a new season, and the players and Coach Rivera spoke about tonight's loss.
I'm very frustrated because we got too many good football players to not be better than what we are right now. But your record tells everybody what you are. That's what we are. We're a 2-3 football team right now.
When it doesn't go our way, I think we need to look at ourselves and say, hey, listen, people have put faith and trust in us. Let's live up to that.
Well, it's week 5, and we got 12 more games to go. It sucks that we're losing. We're all going to be pissed off tonight, but we'll come in tomorrow morning. We'll get ready for Kansas City, and again, like you said, it's a long season.
So what's pretty unique is both these teams have been like the complete opposite. When the Saints win, whatever week it is, the Washington football team loses. When the Washington football team wins, the Saints lose. So obviously this week that pattern continues because the Washington football team lost and they won last week, so that means they lost this week, and the Saints won because they lost against the Giants the previous week.
It sounds confusing.
If you're confused,
just stay with us.
It's working out, but still, we said last week when we were in Atlanta, like they should not lose to the Saints because they lost to the Giants and Washington beat the Giants.
That's right, and you talked about Atlanta and how they were riding that high. You saw Taylor Heinicke really riding that momentum wave all the way through into this week, so we had a lot of hope. I think the Washington football team had a lot of hope that this offense could continue and do what they did against Atlanta here today against the Saints. They did not do that. Taylor Heinicke struggled a little bit. He had those 2 huge interceptions. I say huge because they led to scores, and really it just deflated this team and deflated this team's confidence too.
So listen, I love Taylor Heinicke. That's our boy.
Right.
But when you throw more interceptions than Jameis Winston, who's known for throwing a whole bunch of interceptions, then that's possibly a problem. Because Jameis Winston, he threw only 1, and Heinicke had 2. And you're mentioning when those interceptions took place. And what we need to get out of Taylor Heinicke, we got to remember, this is still basically like his rookie season. What is his only 5th game ever starting? He still has to find some way to limit those turnovers. Right. Because it's been inconsistent, which was the theme of what I was mentioning at the very begining, was he had a great game against Atlanta. And then today, we get back to the player that we saw during the Buffalo game. That's right. He
struggled a little bit. He admitted that after the game. He knows that he wasn't perfect. He knows he needs to clean up a few things. And again, when he throws those interceptions at those crucial moments in the game and then they lead to scores for the other team, well, that's really tough to come back from. Ron Rivera, though, he's still sticking with his guy. He knows that Taylor can rally this team. He likes what he sees. He likes the fight he sees in this guy. Here's what he had to say about Taylor after the game.
I thought Taylor had his moments. I thought he did. He made some plays. He gave us some opportunities. And a couple times I think he tried to force it, and that's hard because he's trying to make plays.
I thought it was good, other than those 2 picks. When you're down in the red zone, you got points on the board. You can't give the other team the ball. And then, backed up, 3rd down, awful decision. I was trying to lay it over this guy's head, and he was right there. I threw it right to him. So. And putting the defense in a bad spot. So, other than those 2 plays, I thought we moved the ball pretty well as an offense. But again, those 2 decisions killed us.
Comment.
Now, Ron Rivera also mentioned that the team is kind of lacking confidence right now. But then when we asked him about Taylor Heineke's confidence, he says it's sky high. He does have that confidence. He's not going to let this get him down. Obviously, he said it sucks. Those are his words. He said he's going to be pissed about it tonight, but then he's going to get ready for Kansas City, which is next week. You got to move on. You got to go to the next game.
Next game doesn't get any easier.
It does not.
And you know, we thought the previous game when Bobby McCain was talking about the next game, we would think we'll get a better performance out of here. Here's what Bobby McCain said last week after the win against Atlanta.
When we start balling and we start, playing our asses off, I want y'all to write the same y'all writing. Because we know what we need to do to win ball games. And at the end of the day, we came out of here with a W. So make sure you write that down. We came out of here with a W. That should be first. Y'all be easy.
So what you're saying is since they came out of here with a L, I need to write that down.
I think we should write that down.
Because the defense, we saw some highlights. Chase Young got the sack.
That's right. Finally, first sack of the season for Chase
Holcomb
Young.
had the interception.
Yep.
However, what the heck happened down there with the miscommunication with
we talk about miscommunication, but also blown coverage. There's
part of that, yeah.
Missed assignments.
Missed assignments,
we heard a lot of the guys talking about that afterwards, too, about missed assignments. That's key. Guys are not doing what they're supposed to do, what they're practicing week in and week out. When they come to this field, they're not doing that.
Listen, everybody here knows I never played in the league. I played college football, high school, Pop One or whatever. And defense wins championships. Defense is a way that you can win the game. If they can't score, they can't win. The problem is that you mentioned these missed assignments and miscommunication. Sharla, how many times? God dog it! How many times have we been in the post game presser and they've mentioned the same thing?
They mention the same thing every single week, which now you start getting a little concerned because they keep saying things like, oh, miscommunication, missed assignments, we're not doing what we're practicing.
You said that week 1.
So if you said that week 1, you said that week 2, you said that week 3, why are we still saying that? Why are things not changing? Now, again, Chase Young stepped it up a little bit. We finally saw him get that sack, but it's too slow. We're at week 5 right now.
Yeah, listen.
We got to start changing.
On paper, this is an amazing team.
Right.
On the defensive side of things, they're just not playing that way. And I think a lot of the players understood that when they spoke about it after the game.
I think we lack a little bit of confidence right now. We had a little bit of confidence. We made some things happen, and then we made a couple of mistakes, and we lost a little bit of confidence. We got to keep our confidence level up if we expect to give ourselves a chance to win football games.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I can't speak on the entire defense because there's a whole lot of stuff on the back end that I just don't understand coverage-wise. So I can really only speak from my point of view. It's frustrating. We need to rush better. We need to be more stout in the run game. Great thing about this league is there's another opportunity next week, but this is going to sting for a little bit.
I just feel like we have things to build off of. Everybody want to harp on the negative, but it was some great plays out there. We got some picks. We got some sacks. We did a lot of things today that we can build off of.
All right, so you heard William Jackson. A lot of things to build off of. Just what we were mentioning before. They've been building those blocks up for a long time, but some reason every time
we
they
need
play,
to see them execute what they're saying.
Those blocks come falling down. Now they have to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and we're going to have our prediction in just a little bit. And I want to know how you feel about the Washington football team as they get ready to take on the Chiefs, or what do you feel about this particular game? Comment on our Facebook page. So as we get nervous, because this defense is suspect, there was a highlight of the day.
Yes, it's not all bad. It's not all bad out here. I know we say they lost, and that's not good, but there were some bright moments, and one of those is Sammis Reyes. Now, I know many of you watching, Sammis Reyes, his story, but today, by him taking the field here behind me at FedEx, he became the first Chilean player to ever play in the NFL on Sunday. It's pretty impressive. No one from his country has ever done what he did today. That's a lot.
What makes the story so much better is that he never played organized football.
Right, never.
And
played basketball
until he joined the Washington football team this year. So he hasn't even been playing organized football for more than a year. This guy was a college basketball player, but he had the athletic ability, and he joined that NFL program that allows guys from from other countries to get an opportunity to make an NFL team, and he impressed scouts.
And you know,
go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
What's crazy is you talk about, he was trying to impress those scouts and he was trying to get that opportunity. When he was working out and trying to get his name out there and get people to notice him, he was driving for DoorDash. He was sleeping on a couch. He was living off $1 a day. He had nothing really in this country because he had come here looking for a chance, and someone was giving him a chance. He met a family that gave him a chance, that kind of showed him to Florida's Pro Day. That's where he made his big impression.
Where he
and
met
obviously,
his girlfriend from that family that he
and made a big impression on Ron Rivera and the staff here, and he's continued to make an impression. Now, we're not seeing him catch passes yet here in this game. We are seeing him used as a blocker. He is a massive guy. If you've seen this guy, he is solid muscle. He's did a great job today at blocking, but he knew that today was about much more than just him and on this field. He knows that he's representing his country.
Yeah, Ron Rivera spoke about it after.
As far as Samus is concerned, he got some opportunities. It's one of those things that you'd like to see him get a few more. But Samus will just have to continue to work, and he may get a few more opportunities. But it is kind of neat to see a guy that's worked very hard like Samus to get his opportunity on the football field.
So we talked about a few bright moments. Obviously, seeing Samus Reyes finally get his shot here in the NFL on Sunday was a bright moment. And then throughout the day here, a bright moment. You see I have the pink ribbon here, and I don't know if you can see behind me. There's a lot of
Where's
pink.
mine?
Yeah,
Go
get yours.
Oh.
There's a lot of pink. You saw pink with the players' jerseys. You see pink in the end zone. You saw pink with personnel that work here. That's because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Day here. Of course, the whole month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but the Washington football team really playing up to that today. And a big part of that was Washington football team co-owner Tanya Snyder. Now, she herself is a survivor, and she was decked out in a fabulous pink suit today. She looked great. And you know what? She was out there talking to fans and out there handing out these little things so that people could all wear them and really showing her appreciation to everyone that came out for this Breast Cancer Awareness Day.
I think what means a lot to this Washington, D.C. community is you don't hear from the Snyder family that much. And so when you see Tanya Snyder humanizing herself, because we look at her, she's the owner, co-CEO, for her to humanize herself and walk alongside with people who fought that battle just like her, she can empathize with them because she went through that. That was a beautiful moment. We saw that moment happen when she came out here on the field with the pom-poms, and we were just like, we need to get video of this because this is something that we normally don't see, where we have someone that high up in his organization coming down and
she's just like everyone else that's fought that battle.
Yep.
I think that's really what she wanted to get across today. And again, we saw so many other survivors out here that the Washington football team invited. And it is so nice that they do this. And we had special jackets on, you had special sweatshirts on. And so it's a really nice day here. All pink here.
So you were talking about how much you love Tanya Snyder's suit she had on today. And before we even get to it, because we're getting to it.
Yeah.
Suited or booted for her outfit?
Oh, absolutely suited. Might be one of my favorite outfits. Now, I've seen her at several games, and she always wears those fantastic suits. Sometimes she has the burgundy suit. I've seen her in the slick black suit today. Of course, all about pink, and she had that pink suit.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, so as we get started with suited or booted, we should be looking at DeAndre Carter. And DeAndre Carter, suited or booted with the, what was that, the Rugrats?
The Rugrats!
Sweatshirt?
Yes!
I can't talk about the pants, though, but suited or booted, Sharla?
I love it. I'm saying suited because this brings us all back to our childhood. It makes us all smile a little bit. I mean, you hear Rugrats and everyone kind of smiles. So you know what? He's bringing the smiles as he comes into the stadium. I like it.
I say suited for the sweatshirt. The pants, though. I don't know about the
It kind of matches. You got the orange a little bit with the Rugrats and the orange pants.
I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's like foliage.
Maybe
it's representing the fall.
I love it though.
All right. So next one will be Montez Sweat.
Okay.
Rocking
let's see it.
the lavender.
You know what? I love a good lavender right there. I like it. I think you know what?
David
I'm going to say it's a little boring.
Suited or booted? Because this is something David Satchel
Oh, David Satchel did this just now. Hold on.
He's like, no. The thing about Montez Sweat for this picture, I feel like he knows his camera is going to be taking pictures of him. So he gives us like the model pose. I'm giving him the suited because he gave the model pose.
I'm going to say booted because it's kind of too plain.
All right.
My. Oh, my.
Landon Collins.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Wow.
You can go first. Yeah, you can go first.
That's a leather vest, folks, without anything on underneath. Just a leather vest. He's rocking that. I mean, I have my leather skirt today. Great minds think alike, but I'm not really sure. I'm I like leather. Not sure.
So
yeah.
So I can't, I'm laughing at what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, the people at home probably got it. But anyways, so I went to Landon Collins.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, what's the name brand of that? And he says it's called Adolescence. I didn't get a chance to Google what Adolescence is, but you
Apparently
can comment
they
on our
make
Facebook
leather.
page and let us know what Adolescence, what brand name that is. So please let us know. I'm going booted.
I'm going to say booted too. It just doesn't really go. It's very random.
But
Showing
you
up
like
at
the
a
leather,
game.
but you don't.
Not the style.
I feel
not
like
the,
there's a Harley waiting for him. I feel like he should be on a bike.
Or
No?
he's ready to just pop the buttons.
This is
It's
one of
odd.
those where like you may have the muscles, but it doesn't work with
Yes.
this. Yeah.
Must don't always work with everything, folks.
All right, so our last suited or booted. How about our man? Woo!
It's just a champion sweatshirt. Love it. Saw it at TJ Maxx
don't like
the other
Patterson?
day.
Oh, you don't-
Fantastic. I mean, it's very simple. He's a man of the people. He's the walk-on. He's got the hometown story. Man of the people. Went to the local DC TJ Maxx and just picked up that sweatshirt and said, "Yep,
So
that's what I'm doing today."
so I'm gonna Jared Patterson. I apologize. You're a PG County or Prince George's County guy. I love you to death. Great story about what you did in college, and now you're in the league. But I give you a lot of props for not spending all the money like some of the other players. I Googled what the champion sweatshirt cost. It was $16.95.
Awesome.
You can
Fantastic.
get it on Amazon.
He's
16
thrifty.
bucks. Round it up, 17 bucks.
All right.
All right, real quick, we got to wrap this up.
Yes, we do.
I want to we have actually comments real fast. I'm going to read off a couple too, so because we always promise that we'll read them off to you. But
Real
Brendan
quick.
Mitchell says, I can't with this team today. Just pitiful and sad from the top of the field. What about Stephen Phillips?
They are a poorly coached team. Shots fired.
Ooh.
Okay.
So
We apologize. We have to wrap it up today only because coming up in about 10 minutes at 6:30, we have our news at 6:30. So that's why we have to wrap this show up. Please tune in. Delia will be there, and we will be joining you in a few minutes on the other side of things.
Poorly coached. If the players don't play well, and the coach can't get them to change things up,
It's tough.
Goes on the coaches. Anyways, we're out because we got to see you guys at 6:30.